next film is a new British film, and that is Scrapper. Emma, do you want to introduce Scrapper for us?
Sure. Georgie is a 12-year-old girl living on her own, somehow managing to get by, stealing things, having people help her get away from social services, and that's until her estranged father, Jason, turns up and reality starts to come back into focus. Here's a clip.
What stage of grief are you at now?
I think I'm almost finished.
Yeah, I feel sorry for her.
She'll make it through.
Lovely, though, that she's living with her uncle.
Could you do me one favour?
Georgie's doing great at school, thanks.
Emotionally coping?
We are eating spaghetti bolognese today.
Well, I for one feel reassured.
Okay, that's not a great advert for social services anywhere, is it? Andy, do you want to start with Scrapper?
Yeah, I'm just going to come out and say I love this. I absolutely love this. I thought it was terrific. I thought young Lola Campbell playing Georgia is going to be a talent to look out for. Come the future, we'll all be able to say we saw her first in Scrapper when she's world famous and winning Oscars. I thought Harris Dickington as Jason, the estranged dad who turns up, was terrific as well. You really believed in the relationship as they started to bond, having not seen each other since the little girl was born. I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very warm. I thought it was very moving. I could have done without the spiders. People who've seen it will know what I mean by that. That was just a thing that wasn't really necessary. But my favourite scene was when they were on a railway platform and they're looking at a couple on the opposite railway platform and they're having this imaginary conversation about what the other two are saying. And I mean, I did look it up. The two actors were just told to ad-lib. And you get the impression there is a lot of ad-libbing going on throughout the film. But they were just told to out, and they're clearly having fun. And the end of that scene, the climax of that scene, is just worth the price of admission alone. And I just thought it was a lovely, lovely film. I think it's trying to say something about Britain's social services. It's trying to say something about what's wrong with them. Lots of breaking of the fourth wall going on, lots of that, which was fine, apart from the spiders doing it. And I thought that the whole thing was beautifully put together and should be a big hit. When I was in London this week, I saw it on just about every other bus that went by, and I think that it will be a big hit. I think it deserves to be. I think it's a really good comedy drama, trying to say something about the state of Britain today, and also the relationship between father and daughter as they slowly get to know each other. I wouldn't mind coming back in 10 years' time for a sequel and see how things have gone. But I thought it was a really, really lovely film. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Of course, we all saw this as a Cineworld secret screening, which is where you don't know what the film is going to be until the film starts. So from the feedback out of that, I think it was a very mixed review. I think there's some people like Andy who loved it, some who didn't get it at all and thought they'd spent an hour and a half of their life when they could have been doing something else. Emma, which camp were you in?
Well, I started off in the one that didn't like it, ended up in the other one, which is thankful.
Okay.
I found the beginning bit a little slow. I had trouble getting into it, but once, probably once her dad comes on the scene, the dynamic between those two just really elevated everything for me. And as Andy said, that train station scene absolutely cracked me up. Thought it was amazing. There are lots of nice little touches through there. It is a drama, but there were a lot of comedic moments in there. Her little friend, Ali, he just cracked me up when he came on as well. It was very understated and just punctuated really deep points at some times with a bit of humour, which it needed. I was getting very invested in their relationship. Father and daughter getting to know each other for the first time. It's such a weird thing to happen, especially in this scenario. It was very emotional, like all the way through, because they are not bickering with each other necessarily, but there are odds because she's happy the way she is and she's trying to get through her stages of grief, and essentially he's coming along and just interfering with the life she's now got. And I just thought it was really nicely done. These smaller, family-oriented, like British films are just really very good. I think it's something that we have managed to find the right level for. And this was another great addition to those sorts of films, I thought.
Yeah. When it started, I expected it to be a Mike Leigh kind of kitchen sink drama, depressing thing, and it kind of went off in another direction. I too could have done without the spiders. It was a level of surrealism, which I don't think the film needed. But it reminded me at one point of A Monster Calls, which was one of my favourite films of, when was it, 2018 maybe, which also dealt with effectively a bereavement because they were losing the mother to a terminal illness. And the same way with the kind of slightly surreal elements of her building this thing in her bedroom, in her locked bedroom, with a hole cut out in the roof that said "cut hole here" and so on, presumably to build a tower up to heaven or something. I thought that was really nice. And it kind of,
this is because the mother kept telling her,
elements.
"I'm going to be in the sky," didn't she? The mother kept saying to her when the mother was dying, she kept saying, "I'm going to be in the sky." So she's building the tower to the sky to get to Mum.
Yeah. I miss that. That's exactly right. Yeah. So that was really good. The one thing that gave me a slightly sour taste about the film was the fact that it was a 12 certificate, and a lot of it was based around this concept of bike theft. That bike theft is okay, right? You can steal people's bikes, you can flog them to your dodgy dealer and make some money. And because we're poor and we need the money for food, that's okay. And I had a real problem with that as a kind of central message. And when the father turns up, I expected him to kind of tear them off a strip, saying, "You can't do that. You'll get into trouble. It's illegal, blah, 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 blah." But no, he jumps in, he joins them in this process, supports it, encourages it, even partakes in it. And the fact this was a 12 certificate, that didn't sit well with me. I've actually written to the BBFC about this one because it is down in the BBFC kind of comments on the film, but it's not up there in the headline.
This is a debate, Bob, that I tried to instigate on one of our film Facebook groups, because should we have a 12 or 13 certificate? We've got 12A, which means anybody can go in and see it. But should we now have a new certificate introduced that's for 12s or maybe 13s? I think in the wake of Barbie, I think in the wake of this, my own view is yes, we should. But I was met with very many different opinions when I posted that on Facebook. People saying, no, it's fine as it is. But I think the BBFC are getting more and more lenient in what they're awarding 12As because they can't give them 15 certificates.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I just think it's a debate worth having.
Yes. So that was the only thing that really was a negative about the film for me. I'm also not sure I was in the right mood to see it when I saw it. So I think I might go and see it again if I can and try and reevaluate it. So scores on the doors. Andy, for you.
I loved it. I'm going to give it an 8.
8 out of 10. Emma?
It's a 7 from me.
7. I'm also giving it a 7. So that's a 7, a 7, and an 8 is 22. That is a Flickering Dreams score of 7.33. Yes, making it a just. Yes. But I reserve the right to up my score a little bit after I've seen it again.